This morning, shock and outrage over Dr. Fauci's newly released text messages revealing his private concerns about the COVID vaccine and the risk of miscarriages back in 2021, just 1 month before he declared a very different story.
Thus far, with thousands of women who are pregnant, having gotten the vaccine following the EUA, there have been no red flags of anything that anyone would be worried about. There are severe adverse outcomes for mother and baby during COVID-19 infection. Therefore, it is extremely important for pregnant women and women planning to get pregnant to get vaccinated.
So hedge fund billionaire Bill Ackman devastated, reacting, quote, Neary and I had 7 miscarriages trying to have a second child during COVID, and then time ran out. What was he thinking?
Oh, my God.
GOP Senator Roger Marshall is a retired obstetrician who sits on the Senate Health and Education Committee, and he joins us now. You know, Senator, I can't think of a bigger story that has ever come out of Washington. But I think there are a lot of people who have a frustration that it's going to be very hard to find Fauci or anybody else accountable for this. Will anyone be held accountable for this?
Well, I sure hope so, and that's why we're calling for a special counsel. And my wife told me I need to remind people what the special counsel can do. Well, they have subpoena power. They can have an independent investigation, and then they can prosecute as well. All Congress can do is expose the truth or try to expose the truth, which is hard to do when a guy takes the fifth 111 times. A full 9/11 style commission would also be something that could work as well, but really it's going to be up to the Attorney General, I think. Does he want an independent counsel to go forward with this?
I have so many thoughts, Senator, about this, because you have the leading expert in January on a text message with 2 other big names. You had Dr. Walensky, the CDC director, and Dr. Vivek Murthy, who later became our Surgeon General. They're on the text with him. So they're all saying he's concerned that it could be associated with a first trimester miscarriage if you get the vaccine. But then a month later, he's saying all pregnant women, he says, quote, pregnant women and women planning to get pregnant to get vaccinated. So why didn't the other 2 people speak out? These are 3 experts that we were looking at. You know, we're losing trust because they're telling us to get vaccine. And was it Bill Ackman that wrote that? Yeah. How devastating. Women are having miscarriages. They're trying to get pregnant and start a family.
Yeah. I think this is a situation where there was so much power concentrated in one person. This guy is drunk with power. He's created this. He helped create this virus. Gain of function was his thing for 20 years. He's been funding research for it. This virus gets loose from a lab. But this is very consistent with the rest of the story. Multiple times, Anthony Fauci tells his diary one thing, but the American public the other. And this is where we lost the trust. This is where the American public started losing the trust. I just want to speak to everybody out there that's pregnant or soon will become pregnant. Talk to your doctor. Every patient is very unique. You know, if you have diabetes, if you have a medical problem, you probably need the vaccine. If you're an otherwise healthy person right now, we don't know that. I don't think the benefits, there is much of a benefit. You have so much immunity right now. But at that point, we needed to say we didn't know. The emergency use authorization, December 2020, it had nothing to do with pregnant women. They had no idea. End of January, Fauci and his people are saying, we really don't know. What about this inflammatory reaction from the vaccine? Could it cause a miscarriage? We're not sure. It's almost like a week later, he's out there encouraging this vaccine. So I think that's the disconnect. And again, just tell everybody, no matter what your question is, you have a unique history. You need to talk to your doctor. That's why this relationship with your doctor is so important.
Senator, you know what it is? It is that he says, what's for the greater good of the country, not the individual. So I want everybody to get a vaccine because it's for the greater good of the country. So I'm not going to tell them reservations that I have and risks they may take because I need everybody to have this immunity. If we just have portions of the immunity where people elect to have a vaccine or not have one, it's not going to work. So he suppressed any type of questions. He actually attacked people that were aggressively questioning him on social media, had his attack dogs do it. So as a doctor, how the next time can an individual doctor assert themselves over a mandate from the federal government if they feel as though they don't have any input?
Yeah, Brian, to your point, this is big government socialism. You remember, Fauci says he is the science. And puts his own pride ahead of everybody else. And again, I think, to answer your question, I still think it comes down to the sanctity of this patient-physician relationship, that every patient is unique, that they have a certain history. I don't think, even then, I question in live time if the benefits outweigh the risk. I went to and volunteered during COVID, went to a place where there was a big outbreak. None of the pregnant women were in the emergency room. The ICU was full of 40, 50-year-old gentlemen with type 2 diabetes. And I said, my gosh, this is an inflammatory reaction. And I think we need to focus on those types of people.
Well, now you have women who lost babies in 2021 wondering if it was because of COVID, the vaccine. Thank you so much, Senator, for coming on.
Thanks, Senator.
You're welcome.
And of course, part of the damage was done by the fact that a lot of doctors just fell in line with Fauci and the CDC and promoted this stuff as much as the government did. And that did irreparable harm to those relationships.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.